Dr. Robert Goldman is the co-founder and chairman of the A4M, American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine, with a membership of over 26,000 physicians, scientists, and healthcare professionals from more than 120 countries across the globe. The A4M is the largest anti-aging longevity society in the world. When Dr. Goldman chartered the A4M in 1992, it was the first medical association of its kind. The term anti-aging didn't even exist. 30 plus years later, Bank of America estimates the value of the anti-aging marketplace to be in excess of $600 billion in the next few years. Dr. Goldman has been at the forefront of that remarkable market segment growth. Dr. Goldman was key in developing the Tarsus Medical Group, which was acquired by Charterhouse, a UK private equity group, for over $700 million. The Tarsus Group was later acquired by Informa for $940 million. Informa, a British company, is the world's largest conference and exhibition company. Yet A4M is one of many successful ventures on Dr. Goldman's resume. He co-founded WorldHealth.net, the second oldest medical website in the history of the internet, second only to the American Medical Association site by 30 days. It hosts an enormous library of 30 years of international conferences with thousands of seminars and over 40,000 articles. Dr. Goldman co-founded several biomedical companies with over 150 medical patents in the area of trauma and emergency medicine, organ transplant, brain resuscitation, and blood products. His companies have been awarded millions of dollars in government research grants and have raised over $100 million in research and development funding. Dr. Goldman's companies have been the recipient of several multi-million-dollar government research grants from the National Institute of Science and Technology of the National Institute of Health. He has also overseen cooperative research and development programs with the Red Cross, NASA, the Food and Drug Administration, and the Department of Defense. Dr. Goldman has been awarded the Gold Medal for Science, the Grand Prize for Medicine, the Humanitarian Award, the International Olympic Committee Tribute Award, and has been honored with the highly coveted Healthy American Fitness Leader Award. Dr. Goldman is a physician and surgeon with a PhD in biochemistry. He has served as an affiliate at Harvard University's Philosophy of Education Research Center and as a senior fellow at Tufts University and on the editorial board of over a dozen medical journals. Dr. Goldman has always had a passion for physical fitness and sports. He was an all-college athlete in 4 different sports. He's a 7th degree black belt in karate, Chinese weapons expert, and has been inducted into numerous martial arts Hall of Fames around the globe. Dr. Goldman is a world champion athlete with over 20 world strength records to his credit. He has numerous listings in the Guinness World Book of Records, including 13,500 consecutive sit-ups and 321 consecutive freestanding handstand push-ups. His passion for sports led Dr. Goldman to create the International Sports Hall of Fame, where he serves as its chairman and master of ceremonies.
Dr. Bob Goldman has been a big supporter of the sport of bodybuilding and of fitness for many, many years. I mean, when you look at the video of him performing all those feats of strength and endurance, you would never guess the kind of things that this guy can lift and do. It was really amazing to see that. So I just wanted to know, you're the real thing. And so we want to say thank you for having this award ceremony every year here.
For over 30 years, Dr. Goldman was also chairman of the International Medical Commission, which directs sports medicine in over 190 nations. He has received honors from the Minister of Sports and government health officials from numerous nations. Aside from co-founding the A4M, he was also the founder and is President Emeritus of the NASM, National Academy of Sports Medicine. NASM developed the first ever certification course for personal trainers. Dr. Goldman, in fact, coined the phrase CPT, Certified Personal Trainer. He literally helped launch the personal trainer industry, which is now worth more than $41 billion worldwide, with several million certified health professionals at work in the industry. Dr. Goldman has served as special advisor on the President's Council on Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition, and is the only council member in the history of the United States to serve under 4 different presidential administrations. Dr. Goldman is also a prolific author, having written more than 50 books. He has made hundreds of television appearances on all the major networks, and has ventured into film as executive producer of numerous award-winning releases. Today, Dr. Goldman travels the world in an effort to push the envelope on maximum human lifespan, health, and physical performance in countries across the globe through venture funding, technology development, and creating new industries and philanthropic pursuits.
Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, with a big round of applause, can we welcome Dr. Bob, as he is known, Dr. Robert Goldman. Welcome, sir.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. I'd like to thank the Kenora family for this kind invitation, and I'm very happy to see so many important people from around the globe that have come here. We're trying to connect humanity, spirituality, and all of these different industries that have come to bear. There have been global, I think you have the wrong slides here. Okay. This global transformation and the association between spirituality and medicine and science, because we all want to work towards a happier and healthier longevity. And anti-aging, as well as healthy nutrition and spirituality, are very tied together as one industry. Now, holistic longevity is the universal goal. So we utilize these principles for caring for the body as a temple. You know, if you were told you only got one car for your entire life, you would take very good care of that car. Well, you're given one body in this lifetime, not counting incarnations, of course, and reincarnation, but you need to care for this body by paying attention to a number of very basic principles. So longevity aligns very well with the values of peace and unity. So the visions of humanity foster a healthier and more united world. So we want to try and bring together science, spirituality, and all of the different health aspects that we have come to bear with the new innovations in science so that we can create a more global culture of wellness. So there's really a call to action to join the global movement for wellness, longevity, and unity. At the same time, protecting Mother Earth to live in harmony with all respects and all faith. And that's what makes this conference so unique, because it really ties together all the different religions of the world, the spiritual thought processes, so that we all work together as one. We want to empower ourselves and ignite this potential to reflect God's love. Now, we want to nurture humanity, and this flourishing of a global wellness market has increased dramatically over the years because people are interested in living longer, healthier, and so that they can enjoy their life with their families as well as their spirituality pursuits. So advancing human potential is unlocking the secrets and opportunities within the wellness, health, and longevity community. Now, there have been a number of very exciting developments over recent years. Gene therapy, regenerative medicine, longevity medicine, also with AI powering a lot of the knowledge base. You know, it's very exciting to see how quickly, but also in some ways frightening, to see how quickly AI is progressing. Because you can take the world's knowledge and immediately transfer it into a central source through the computer to come up with answers that before would have taken many years and now in a matter of minutes. There's also different types of wearable technologies, equipment. In the past, if we wanted to see what was going inside your body, we had to actually do exploratory surgery or use the very primitive x-rays. But now with MRIs, CTs, and all these very advanced diagnostic tools, we are now able to look much deeper, much quicker, with a much larger longevity base, so we can focus on many of the new technologies that are coming to bear that are really changing the way that we view medicine. So we want to cultivate the prosperity for humanity. This rise of the anti-aging marketplace is really quite profound, because they say, who wants to live to be 92? That's the guy who's 91. And so everybody wants to try and extend not just the years that they are alive, but also the quality of their life. Not just increasing the longevity, but more so importantly, the health span. So this is a huge opportunity of growth for all of us. And what we're seeing is many of the big names in Silicon Valley and investment groups around the world are really getting behind anti-aging, regenerative medicine, and longevity medicine with very large support for these pursuits. But again, it's not just about the length of time that one lives. It is also about how we are able to enhance this longevity profile. So it behooves all of us to, one, adapt the right diet and nutrition, utilize and respect for others, and try to form a global, better human mindset. We want to increase the way that we treat and the wellness and the compassion that we show for others by being better humans. By doing so, we reduce stress, we reduce the tension out there, and we are able to work in better harmony together in order to enhance these aspects of longevity. Again, I thank the family for this kind invitation and for this very unique experience. And it was great to see the past president here and many of the religious leaders from around the world. It makes this conference very, very unique, because you are now bringing everyone together under spirituality and also under health and longevity. And by doing so, it makes this conference very, very unique. So my hat is off to the family for putting together such a tremendous event. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, they've all gone for a tea break. So, I'm Sujit. Hello? Yeah. I'm Sujit. I was supposed to speak earlier. I'm not feeling well, but nevertheless, I'll just start off. So, ladies and gentlemen and esteemed guests, today I invite you. We've just heard Dr. Goldman on the anti-aging and wellness industry and how people are wanting to live longer. But it is not just about that. It is also about how to manage our emotions. So I'm just going to give a short talk on a journey that takes us beyond the boundaries of our understanding and into the realm where emotions, science, and spirituality converge. At first glance, these might seem like distinct worlds. Emotions are personal, raw, and deeply human. Science is precise, analytical, and empirical. And spirituality, well, it often feels vast, transcendent, and enigmatic. But what if I told you that these three realms are not separate at all? What if they are indeed intricately interwoven, each one reflecting and informing the other? Much like Indra's net, and I'm sure everyone must have heard of the Indra's net, our Vedic concept that the entire cosmos is covered with a net, a timeless metaphor of interconnectedness. Let's start with emotions, the very essence of our human experience. They shape the way we perceive the world. Imagine for a moment the cosmic dance of Lord Shiva, the Tandav. It is a dance of creation and destruction, a symbolic representation of life cycles, much like the emotional rhythms we all experience. Joy births creativity. Anger fuels change. Sorrow fosters depth. And ecstasy connects us to the divine. Our emotions are not just fleeting feelings. They are forces that create, destroy, and transform, pushing us to evolve. But while emotions move us, science helps us make sense of them. Let's consider Schrodinger's cat. And Dr. Goldman would definitely know, being a scientist, about the experiment of Schrodinger's cat, one of the most fascinating thought experiments in quantum physics. Picture this: a cat inside a box, simultaneously alive and dead, until we observe it. This paradox isn't just about particles, it's about perception. Reality itself is not fixed. It depends on how we observe it. Now let's apply that to emotions. Think about love. Is it exhilarating or terrifying? It depends on how you perceive it. Science gives us the tools to study this phenomena. Neuroscience, for instance, shows us how neurotransmitters like dopamine or serotonin influence our moods. Much like quantum experiments reveal hidden truths about the physical world. And this is where spirituality enters the equation, transcending both the rawness of emotions and the precision of science. Imagine Indra's net again, a vast web of jewels, each one reflecting all the others. This ancient Indian metaphor reminds us that everything is connected. The ripples of one jewel, a single thought, a single action, are felt across the entire web. Doesn't this sound a lot like quantum entanglement? In science, we've discovered that particles, even when separated by vast distances, remain interconnected. I don't know whether you are aware, but around 8 or 9 years back, China had teleported a particle to a satellite. Spirituality teaches us this at a human level. Our emotions, our intentions, our very existence are part of a greater whole. And so these three, emotions, science, and spirituality, are not isolated. They are facets of the same truth. Consider how they flow together. Emotions fuel our curiosity and drive us to seek answers. Science satisfies that curiosity, revealing the mechanics of the universe and the human mind. And spirituality grounds us, teaching us to transcend the fleeting nature of emotions and the limitations of scientific understanding, reminding us that there's always more to feel, more to know, more to connect with. Think about meditation. We all practice meditation to some extent, a practice which is often rooted in spirituality. Science now tells us that meditation reshapes our brains, calming the amygdala, the center of fear, and strengthening the prefrontal cortex, which governs reason and decision making. Emotions, science, and spirituality coming together in perfect harmony. This harmony is what allows us to navigate the paradoxes of life. Just as Shiva's Tandav reminds us that destruction is a precursor to creation. And just as Schrodinger's cat shows us that two seemingly contradictory states can coexist. The integration of emotions, science, and spirituality teaches us that we don't have to choose between feeling and thinking, between knowing and believing. We can dance, we can observe, we can reflect. So I leave you with this thought: life is not a puzzle to be solved, but a mystery to be experienced. And the beauty of this experience lies in embracing the interconnectedness of our emotions, the wisdom of science, and the transcendence of spirituality. When we do this, we don't just understand the world, we truly live it. Thank you.
There is a little bit of confusion with the PowerPoint presentation that was sent to us and which we were trying to, sort of place so that Dr. Goldman could give his detailed presentation. However, we are trying to sort it, and meanwhile, while we are waiting for this snag to be sorted out, can we request Shri Mukundraj Kanoria to kindly come up and thank, on behalf of the organizers, Dr. Goldman and the entire galaxy of luminaries from various spiritual domains who are present here today, who would be participating. Can we request you to kindly come up? Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Goldman, for sharing your insights into how the world is changing and how science is enabling us to live not only longer but also fuller lives, and the importance of not only physical but psychological health through exercise, diet, and spirituality in realizing this. It's through the body that the dual becomes non-dual, in which the spirit of the world's great philosophies and religion manifests as joy, courage, care, curiosity, and open-heartedness. And I invite you all to thank Mr. Goldman, Dr. Goldman, again with me.
And we would like to felicitate Dr. Goldman with the shawl, the memento, and also the bag containing the Confluence papers.
Okay, thank you. What I would like to do is give you a good overview of the whole field of longevity, anti-aging medicine, and how do we tie this together with advancing humanity, health, harmony, spirituality, and the variety of religions that are out there. Now, if we look at aging, this has been something that for not only generations, but since the beginning of time, we've always been mystified and very interested in the whole aging process. Now, with a lot of the technology that has come to bear over the last few years, now how we view aging and how we view information is very, very different. In the past, it would take many years, decades, or even longer to have these advancements. But now we're seeing this happen at a much more rapid pace. And if you look at the covers of various magazines talking about how long people can live, reversing human aging, what will happen, what is the science of living longer, we're looking at this quest for longevity and immortality, but at the same time we have to preserve our humanness. We have to preserve who we are. Now, if we look at the last 32 years, I founded a number of large international organizations that are based out of America that have trained over 150,000 medical specialists. And we have done these conferences all over the world, training these doctors in order to upgrade their knowledge base and their capabilities. Not unlike what the family has done with this beautiful conference that they put together, where you're trying to educate people how spirituality and science tie together. Now, if you look at some of the advances we've seen with robotics, gene therapy, nanotechnology, genetic engineering, the way that we viewed medicine has changed dramatically. The capabilities that we have has been enhanced dramatically. So this is really changing the whole interdisciplinary ecosystem that was different from the old school traditional medical care. So these changes are very rapid and very extreme. And so we're seeing this in magazines and all different types of endeavors where we're trying to educate the world as to some of these changes. As I mentioned previously, aging, spirituality, and the human quest for vitality is key. So again, it's not just the years that we live, but those quality of the years. And as was mentioned by the other speakers previously, what you're able to give back, how you're able to make contributions to your present generation and to future generations. What we call anti-aging medicine, which was a term that we actually developed, we connect the physical vitality and spiritual harmony. We promote longevity and holistic health worldwide in over 120 countries. And we're very honored to be sharing these insights with you today at this 15 World Confluence of Humanity, Power, and Spirituality. Now, longevity and the human spirit, they're really tied together very closely. Aging affects all humanity, transcending borders and beliefs. And I think that's been one of the goals of this conference, is to say we are all really one. We are not separate, but we're all really one as humans. So in anti-aging medicine, we focus on extending not only the health span we focus on the health span as well as the lifespan. How healthy, how fit, how strong can you be throughout your life? So wellness and spirituality are integral to living your fullest life. Now, how does spiritual wisdom meet medical innovation? Ancient wisdom emphasizes balance between the mind, body, and spirit. Over the last 4 or 5 years, I've become a student of Buddhist masters and monks, and going through very intensive meditation in silence in the jungle with the monks. And I'm going for my 4th year this time. As a Westerner, this is very different, because we're used to having many thoughts through our mind, where in this meditation practice, you are trying to actually clear the mind. So regenerative medicine supports the harmony through various medical technologies, whether it be stem cell therapeutics, hormonal balance therapy, personalized wellness programs. Science and spirituality complement each other in this holistic fashion. Now we need to look at food, spirit, and healing. Nutrition is a sacred connection to health and simplicity. Natural foods. What I noticed since I came here to India several days ago is in America, when I would eat a meal, I would actually have heartburn. And every meal I've had here since I got here, nothing. Why? Because your food here is healthier, is natural, is truly organic, not just having an organic label, but the food here is far healthier and better than what we see in America. And I've actually experienced that over the last several days. Food as medicine reflects simplicity, austerity, and respect for nature. Plant-based diets, mindful eating, and sustainable practices respect earth resources. When I speak about mindful eating, what I learned through my Buddhist meditation is when a lot of times in America when we eat, we're watching TV, talking on our phone, talking to a friend, doing 4 different things while we're eating. We're not even focusing on consuming the food or experiencing the food. So what I learned through the meditation practices is to be mindful at the moment of doing exactly what you are doing. So healing begins with gratitude for nature's abundance and this mindful nourishment that we receive. Now, in terms of fitness, motivation, and longevity, we combine the ancient practices with modern principles. Regular exercise like yoga, meditation, Tai Chi, these awaken the inner power of human potential. Being a martial artist for many decades, I've learned the power of Ki, or the power that we have internally. And this then can translate. Also, the power of meditation and spirituality really can change your health prospects, your longevity, and your capabilities. Movement in terms of exercise aligns the body with spiritual strength, fostering peace and well-being. And this combines with the ancient practices of modern fitness practice. So we have a spiritual side of confidence and aesthetics. Now, aesthetics is a relatively new field in the terms of medicine, where they're using Botox and fillers and lasers and all these sorts of things. Now, it's sort of a different diversion from what we consider natural beauty, but yet it has become a very integral part of holistic well-being. Some of the technologies that support health, natural beauty, and self-respect and dignity are the hormone placement. When we get to a certain age, our body hormones drop. In the male, testosterone drops, DHEA, and so on. You know, women develop menopause. That's when the female hormones drop. Well, men develop andropause, similar to the female menopause. And males can get losing muscle mass, bone mass, depression. They lose the energy, vitality. And with careful replacement of these various medications and rejuvenation therapies, we are literally able to change the way somebody progresses. In the old days, they say, well, we can't change the aging process. You cannot change the number of years. If you're 65 or 25 or 35, that's your chronologic age. However, you can change the physiologic age. I'll give you an example. You have a male who's 58 years old. He's 30 kilos overweight. His blood pressure is high. His cholesterol is high. His energy level is low. His lean body mass is low. We change his diet. We put him on an exercise program. We reanimate his hormones. All of a sudden, this guy loses 30 pounds of fat. His muscle mass increases, his bone mass increases. Now, have we changed his chronological age? Of course not. But have we changed his physiologic age? Now he's got normal blood pressure, he's got more lean muscle mass, he's got more energy. We have de-aged this person. And that's where this makes that great innovative change. So the innovations in anti-aging align with humanity's future. Technologies awaken human potential, enabling growth synchronized with spiritual values. These cutting-edge advancements in anti-aging medicine, AI diagnostics, we're seeing this enormous growth, this rapid growth of artificial intelligence that scours the world's literature. So instead of weeks or months to figure out various drug therapies or development systems or diagnosis, we can now do this in minutes. There's big advances in gene therapy, genetic engineering, and also wellness devices that people are wearing that can monitor their blood pressure, their pulse, their heart rate, and so on. These wellness devices are doing very well not only for monitoring and tracking, but also for emergency medical situations as well. So these innovations really connect with the global communities of health. Now there's a movement of connecting humanity. The anti-aging industry promoting economic growth aligned with humanity and spirituality, but this market growth has to be shared. I think one of the things why I enjoy martial arts so much is that everyone is a teacher. We try and teach each other. Same thing with the gurus in India. They try to teach their knowledge, whether it be Buddha or regular gurus or Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, a good friend of mine, or the gurus you have here. They want to share their knowledge with others. And I think it's our responsibility as educators, as teachers, as medical professionals, and spiritual leaders or practitioners for us to share that knowledge with others. This has a global transformation through longevity, and this will lead to a healthier, happier world where longevity empowers human and spiritual progress. So these anti-aging innovations empower women, families, elders, and one of the things I think we're missing a lot in America that is still very strong in India, the family unit in India is still very powerful. I see this with the Kanari family. The family is everything. In America, we have lost the plot. We don't have that mother, father, and children bound together. And I think you have maintained that here in your nation. We, unfortunately, have lost a lot of that bearing. And that is very unfortunate because we don't have the respect and tradition that you still have here in India. So you guys are doing it right. We're the ones that are not doing it right at this time. Transformations across cultures, improving vitality, spirituality, and peace. This holistic longevity really should be a universal goal. These anti-aging principles mirror spirituality teachings, caring for the human body as a temple, embracing self-compassion and mindfulness. Longevity aligns with universal values of peace and unity. So this vision for humanity in terms of a healthier and more unified world, combining science, spirituality, and innovation, will benefit all generations. Together, we can create this global culture of wellness. So we have a call to action here to join the global movement for being better humans, wellness, longevity, and unity, to protect Mother Earth, live in harmony and respect all faiths, to collaborate with the various groups out there to promote this longevity, wellness, but most importantly, the unity among all religions and all spirituality. This will empower yourself and others to ignite human potential and reflects God's love. So nurturing humanity, flourishing the global wellness market, which has increased dramatically because your health is your wealth. Many people expend their health in order to gain wealth, and then they spend all that money to try and get their health back. So it's so important to always respect that. These advances in human potential are so very exciting, unlocking these opportunities in terms of what the things we have discussed during this lecture in terms of AI, wearable innovations, longevity focus, biotech innovations, and so on. So by cultivating this, we also make new job opportunities, new economic models, and now with the big guys coming in supporting these longevity protocols, there's a lot of funding going into supporting longevity research, innovations, and how do we not only live longer, but how do we live at a much more focused, higher level. I'd like to give recognition to my dear friend Gurudev Sri Sri Ravishankar, who has been a guest in my home, and I took him into the gym and I made him lift weights with me, and we had a very good time. And I'd like to thank Shalman, who invited me out here, and again the family. I'm so honored and pleased with this invitation. I thank you very much, and thank you for being a kind audience. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Goldman. And anyone from the audience who would like to have any doubts cleared, any questions? Dr. Goldman, we are sure would be happy to answer.
Doctor, would you like to elaborate a bit on meditation and Indian food about which you said complementary?
Sorry. I think the question was about meditation and Indian food. Was that the question? Yes. I can tell you, this has been my experience when I've traveled to Myanmar. I've been there 50 times. I've been to Asia hundreds of times during my lifetime. I'm 69, by the way. Okay, but physiologically, I test out in my 20s or 30s because I know what to do. Okay, so I could still roll on the mats and still fight with the young kids. But I think one of the things that's very good here is that there are a lot of vegetarians in your country. And when you do the combination of meditation and healthy natural foods, you are so much farther ahead. In the US, they let all kinds of garbage in the foods, all kinds of terrible chemicals, where here, the foodstuffs, I experienced it the last few days in my last trips here, and when I come to the region, you guys are doing it the right way because you have the combination of good family values, trust with the family, the closeness of the family, grooming that next generation, and then you have the healthy foods, the vegetarianism, the way the food is prepared, and you combine that with meditation, which then calms the soul and takes away, you don't die so much from hard work. You die from the stress and the tension and the anxiety that you go through. But by having a good family unit, and by having the good foods, and by involved in meditation and breathing exercise practice, I think you are way ahead of the game. So I'm in full support of that.
Can we have a mic, please?
Morning, Dr. Sir. In continuation of this question that's about food for the soul, you talked about food for the body, but in India, of course, we have Sufis and the Qawwali, and we have meditative chants from the Hindu philosophy also when we have the bhajans. So what is the effect on the soul? We call it, in Sufism, I come from Ajmer Sharif, we have Qawwali, the Sufi music, which is known as the ruh, it is a nourishment of the soul. So according to you, what is that effect on the soul when we hear these sound, vibrations, how they elevate to the cosmic realities?
You're bringing up something that's actually hard science. There is real hard data and science between tones, music, and a lot of the things that you just mentioned are really scientifically backed up. That's why music many times will calm a wild beast, so to speak, or will calm a person, or will bring back fonder memories, or during meditation, when you listen to the chants, that will allow you to go into deeper meditation. So there's a lot of science behind that. It's not just like a personal feeling. It is true hard science, and this is where spirituality and science and the soul all tie into one. And I think that's one of the goals of the Congress that you guys have put together is how do we tie the science with spirituality? But in reality, it already is tied, and its foundation is solid.
Dr. Goldman, thank you for sharing some of the secrets of our longer run and quality life. But when some distresses happen in the minds of somebody, so for whatever reasons, maybe financial, maybe family distortion, obviously there is a distortion in the mind also, and that carries to the health. How do you really prevent that? how do you come out of that kind of distress to make yourself, quiet, calm, and go for a longer life?
So I think the question is, when you have stress in the family or in life or a job or whatever the case may be, how do you decrease that? There's a number of different ways to do that. One, a lot of you do this already because you do meditation, you do breathing exercise, and like Sri Sri teaches and other gurus teach. Those are some of the aspects. But I think it's your perception of that stress. What I learned through my training is you have to let go. The less that, you see, being born is very traumatic, okay? You're in this nice warm womb and you're being fed and it's quiet and it's dark. All of a sudden you come out through the womb and you're slapped in the butt, okay? And you're in these bright lights and they take you and put tubes down your mouth, suck things out, throw you on a metal bin and slap you on the booty. So you go from this very warm environment to this very traumatic one. So life itself is really quite traumatic. Life itself is very challenging. So you need to somehow put these things in a better category. So in terms of, a little thing could make you really crazy. You got to separate, I call it the supercomputer or the paperclip. A paperclip's a little paperclip, it's no big deal. A supercomputer is a big deal. Most of the challenges we have in life are paperclips. We have a arguing with our wife or our boyfriend or our husband or our child. These are solvable. These are paperclips. A supercomputer is somebody dying of cancer or a traumatic car accident or a bomb exploding. That's a supercomputer. But all these other things that allow us to get so upset about, they're really paperclips. So you need to, again, do all you can to, one, not let it affect you. It's just like the story of Buddha. He had somebody who was really jealous of him. He didn't like him. And the guy would come to him and he was complaining, and Buddha invited him to his house for dinner. And the guy is coming and complaining, and Buddha is not reacting, you see. And the guy is going, why aren't you reacting? Why aren't you getting angry back at me? He says, well, you're trying to bring me gifts to my home, but I'm not accepting your gifts. They have nothing to do with me. These are your gifts. You keep them. So it's how you perceive that anxiety, and I think you need to categorize how truly important or how big is that particular dissonance in your life. And most times, it's just like if you think back, something that was bothering you when you were in 4th grade or you were a child or you were a lot younger. Today it means nothing to you. So you need to do this almost retrospect, prospect game with yourself, where you look at things and your perception is what will gauge how upset or how much stress these things will cause you. And I think when you look at it that way, you find that many of the things that are upsetting you or your children, your wife, your husband, or so on, really are very, very small and can be resolved by not overreacting. Because when you react and you raise your voice, the other person raises their voice. So what you want to do is go the opposite and try to calm the situation.
Dr. Goldman, I have a question. As a practitioner of martial arts, how do you perceive these disciplines leading to attaining inner peace and spirituality?
The question was about by doing martial arts, how does this help you towards inner peace? Well, it does a number of things. When you're a very polished martial artist, if you meet some of the top martial arts grandmasters in the world, they're very calm. They're not at all, they don't think violent. In fact, if they're in a situation, they will be the last person to exude violence or to do or be aggressive because they're very confident in who they are. When you achieve higher levels through the martial arts, you learn discipline, you learn respect, you learn respect for your teacher, you learn respect for your students, and the students learn respect for their teacher. There's a tradition that is imparted through the martial arts. And the higher level you go, the more calm you achieve, and the more respect you have for the art, and you understand the responsibility you have when you've reached these higher levels, how you need to share this with others. When you give, you get. And that is the most important thing, is sharing your knowledge, your skills, because we're only around for a speck in time. If you look at the millions of years or the 100,000 years wherever humans have been around, we're here for a nanosecond in reality. So we need to do what we can to be better humans, to engage other people in being better humans, and for them to show their compassion. So if somebody comes to you in anger, you show them compassion, you try and calm things. And in martial arts, that's what we try and do. We try and calm a situation. The most common thing a martial artist would do, if he's like, somebody is trying to attack them, you put your hands up and you go, I fear for my life. Now, if you see a martial artist do this, you better run in the other direction, because that means the next thing that's going to happen is you're going to sleep. So a martial artist will back up and go, I fear for my life, and he will back up. He's not going to come at you. That will be the last thing that they will do. Last thing you'll do, too.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Thank you for this session.